Welcome back. Today we're going to go over my general purpose AR15 build and all the attachments. And why do you care? Steve, why do we care what you have on your rifle? You care because at some point you're going to want to build your own, and you almost can't avoid it. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the attachments, why I chose them, what I upgraded and why. Hopefully it helps. If you like this type of content, like and follow. Tell me a little bit more about what types of videos you want to see. But for me, I call this a general purpose because I would use this at the target range for hunting and then for home defense. And so those are the things that I took into consideration when I added the attachments here. Now keep in mind, the more attachments you add maintenance. So if you added a red dot and a scope, that's batteries for both. You got to clean the lenses for both. And so whenever you add something, you're also adding potentially something that can break on you, or something that you're going to have to monitor as you clean your rifle. You're going to have to check all of these like screws, make sure that they don't get loose, things like that. So the more attachments, the more work you're going to have to do to maintain it. So first, one of the first things I did was I added a bipod for stabilization, upgraded the muzzle brake. I added a flashlight. So this flashlight, again, the AR15 is potentially for home defense as well. So I can hold the button here and the light turns on. There's also a button where it'll stay on. I also have a foregrip here. It allows me to kind of pin my fingers against it for stabilization. When I shoot at the range, I can pin it. They have these little sandbags, and I can pin it against the sandbags to stabilize myself. I also have a canted red dot and then a long range scope. This is a 3x9. So the red dot, I could probably use this up to like 50 yards. Anything longer, use long range scope. Again, in terms of maintenance, you have to have batteries in both of these, so you're gonna have to monitor your battery life. When you shoot and you have a flashlight at the end, the dust kind of covers this up, so you have to keep the flashlight clean. I also upgraded the grip. You see these little grooves here. It allows me to kind of wedge my fingers in between them, just have a better grip. The grip that it came with didn't have that. I added a larger trigger guard that just gives you more room here. I upgraded the trigger from a 5-pound trigger to a 3.5. And the 5-pound trigger was okay, but if you shoot a lot, it just starts to wear on your finger, your wrist. And so I reduced the amount of force that it takes to pull the trigger. I upgraded the bolt catch lever, and so I'll show you here. So when you shoot your last cartridge out of the magazine, the charging handle gets stuck in this down position, and you have to take your hand off the barrel, put your magazine in, and with your hand you have to hit this bolt catch button to release the charging handle, and then that puts a cartridge into your rifle, and so you're ready to fire. So what I chose to do is I upgraded to a bolt catch lever. So instead I can put my magazine in, go right to grab my rifle, and to charge it I just push down this lever, and then it puts a cartridge into the chamber and I'm ready to fire. The other thing that I added was an ambidextrous safety. So, the pros, and I'm not a pro, but what they tend to do is they undo the safety, they take their shot, and with the same finger they go back up and then, put it back into safety. And I practiced that, but, I didn't like that too much. And so what I like to do is I added the ambidextrous safety because I like to undo the safety with my thumb, take my shot, and then I like to do the safety with my index finger. So I'll come up and then put the safety, push the safety button up. So that's what I like to do. So I undo the safety with my thumb, take my shot, and then I'm done, and I put it back into safety. And that's what I like to do. You'll have to kind of practice, figure out what you like. And then I also added the ambidextrous radiant charging handle, so I can grab the charging handle from this side or charge it from this side. When it comes stock, you can only charge it from the left-hand side. So that's something else that I upgraded. Again, something else to think about is the weight. The more attachments you add, not only is it going to add more maintenance, it's going to add weight. And so that's something that you're going to have to kind of take into consideration for your intended purpose. If you're going to hunt with it, you probably want to consider adding a sling just to help you carry the weight around. Or perhaps you don't need maybe you don't need a bipod if you plan on just standing and taking shots, but maybe you don't need a flashlight. But something to just keep in mind: the more attachments you add, obviously the more weight you're going to add. But again, this is my AR15 build. Let me know if you like this type of content. Like and follow, share, and I will continue to make content like this, and I will cover some of my other guns that I have. Thanks for watching.